The strangest coincidences in world history is full of incredible stories, but sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. I'm your host Vasco, and today we are diving into some of the most bizarre coincidences in world history, events so unlikely they'll make you question if there is something more at work in our universe. From identical twins separated at birth to eerily prophetic novels, these stories will leave you wondering, coincidence or something else? Let's find out. Number 1. The Lincoln-Kennedy parallels. Let's start with perhaps the most famous historical coincidence of all time, the strange parallels between Presidents Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846 and became president in 1860. Kennedy was elected to Congress in 1946 and became president in 1960. Both presidents were deeply concerned with civil rights. Both were assassinated on a Friday while sitting next to their wives. Both were shot in the head from behind. Lincoln's secretary, whose name was Kennedy, warned him not to go to the theater. Kennedy's secretary, whose name was Lincoln, warned him not to go to Dallas. John Wilkes Booth shot Lincoln in a theater and fled to a warehouse. Lee Harvey Oswald shot Kennedy from a warehouse and fled to a theater. Both assassins were known by their 3 names, each containing 15 letters. Both successors were named Johnson, were Southern Democrats, and born 100 years apart. While some of these parallels have been exaggerated or manipulated over time, the core similarities remain truly bizarre. But this is just the beginning of our journey through history's strangest coincidences. Number 2. Mark Twain and Halley's Comet 1:45-300. Mark Twain, born Samuel Clemens, came into this world on November 30th, 1835, the same day Halley's Comet made its periodic appearance in the skies above Earth. The comet appears only once every 75 to 76 years. In 1909, Twain made an astonishing prediction. He said, "I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. It is coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it," and remarkably, that's exactly what happened. Twain died on April 21st, 1910, just one day after Halley's Comet reached its perihelion or closest approach to the Sun during that orbit. He lived a complete Halley's Comet cycle, arriving with it and departing with it 75 years later. What are the odds that one of America's greatest writers would have his life so perfectly bookended by one of astronomy's most spectacular events? Number 3. The Titanic Warnings 3:00-4:15. Years before the RMS Titanic sank in 1912, there were not one, but 2 fictional stories that seemed to predict the disaster with uncanny accuracy. In 1898, author Morgan Robertson published a novella called Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan. It described an unsinkable luxury liner called the Titan that strikes an iceberg in the North Atlantic and sinks with massive loss of life due to insufficient lifeboats. The fictional Titan and the real Titanic shared remarkable similarities. Both were described as the largest ship of their time. Both were deemed unsinkable. Both struck an iceberg in April in the North Atlantic. Both sank with massive loss of life due to insufficient lifeboats. The Titan was 800 feet long. The Titanic was 882 feet. The Titan could carry 3,000 people. The Titanic could carry 2,200. Then in 1912, just weeks before the Titanic disaster, another author named W.T. Stead wrote a story called From the Old World to the New, featuring a ship that hits an iceberg in the Atlantic. The most chilling part? Stead himself was a passenger on the Titanic when it sank, and he perished in the disaster. Number 4. The Assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand 4:15-5:30. The assassination that triggered World War I is filled with bizarre coincidences that, had any one of them not occurred, might have prevented the deaths of millions. On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria was visiting Sarajevo. Earlier that day, an assassin had already tried to kill him with a bomb, which bounced off his car and injured others instead. Later, Franz Ferdinand insisted on visiting the hospital to check on those injured in the bombing. However, his driver took a wrong turn, realized the mistake, and stopped the car to reverse directly in front of where one of the conspirators, Gavrilo Princip, was coincidentally having a sandwich after abandoning the assassination plot. Princip couldn't believe his luck. The target he had given up on killing was now stopped right in front of him. He stepped forward and fired 2 shots, killing the Archduke and his wife Sophie. Even more bizarre, the license plate of Franz Ferdinand's car was a 3118, which some interpret as a 4 armistice. And 11/11/18, the date World War I ended 4 years after the assassination that started it all. Number 5. The Dream That Saved a Village. In October 1966, in the Welsh mining village of Aberfan, a 10-year-old girl named Daryl Mai Jones told her mother about a dream she'd had. "I dreamt I went to school and there was no school there," she said. Something black had come down all over it. The next day, a coal waste tip collapsed and sent thousands of tons of slurry down the mountainside, directly onto the Pantglass Junior School. The disaster killed 116 children and 28 adults. Errol Mai was among the children who died. Her premonition was documented by psychiatrist John Barker, who collected accounts of premonitions related to the Aberfan disaster. While science cannot explain such premonitions, the documented timing of Errol Mai's dream before the disaster remains one of history's most chilling coincidences. Coincidence number 6. Baseball pitcher throws perfect game after announcer's joke. The only perfect game in World Series history came with an eerie coincidence attached to it. On October 8, 1956, New York Yankees pitcher Don Larson was preparing to pitch in Game 5 of the World Series against the Brooklyn Dodgers. As he was warming up, broadcaster Vin Scully made what seemed like an innocent comment on air. "I'm going to sit back, light up, and watch Don Larson pitch a perfect game." Scully made this comment as a throwaway line, with no serious intention behind it. After all, there had only been a handful of perfect games in Major League history at that point, and none in the pressure cooker of the World Series. But that's exactly what happened. Larson went on to pitch the only perfect game in World Series history, retiring all 27 Dodgers batters without allowing a single one to reach base. What began as a broadcaster's casual comment became an incredible prophecy. Are these events mere coincidences or glimpses of something more? Perhaps they're reminders that history is stranger and more interconnected than we often assume. Whether you believe in fate, mathematical probability, or just the strange nature of our universe, these historical coincidences remind us that truth can indeed be stranger than fiction. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this exploration of history's strangest coincidences, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments which coincidence you found most bizarre. Until next time, I'm Vasco, reminding you that history is full of surprises.